Peace, audience. Blessed be the name of Yah, our righteousness, the King, the fountain of living water, spirit and creator of all things. The strong one of Abraham, the strong one of Isaac, and the strong one of Israel, the strong one of the whole earth is He, and beside Him there is no Savior. We're here today, November 10th, taping this show 6 days after the election of Barack Hussein Obama, President-elect of the United States of America, the daughter of Babylon. And we're here. We know many people are in a euphoric state. That's why Barack Obama was elected, or should I say selected, by the control manipulators of this country and basically the world today. More than likely this whole election, as FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, said many years ago, whatever happens in politics, you can understand without a doubt that it was planned that way. Okay? It's not by any votes, electoral or populist votes. This was done by the control manipulators, the people that had dominion on the earth today. We're talking about the international bankers, the Illuminati, the descendants of Esau, headed by the House of Rothschild, and the monarchies. And this is for them, this is for you, the populace, the people, and this is for everyone upon the face of the earth, and our international audience. More than likely this was conceived by Tavistock in England. That's the father of all think tanks in the world. And more than likely Esau, without a doubt, is the creator of that. For Yah gave him the wisdom, as you can read about in the book of Obadiah. And it's also talking about him in the 47th chapter of Isaiah in regards to the daughter of Babylon. That's the international bankers, the sons of Esau. Okay? They're the ones who established America. They're the ones who run America. They're the ones who have financed America. And that's what we're witnessing today, as we have been witnessing, those of us who've been able to see, who've been enlightened by the Creator, the exodus economically of these international bankers from the daughter of Babylon, the United States of America. And that's why you have the NAFTA, okay, the North American Free Trade Agreement, CAFTA, Central America Free Trade Agreement. They're moving all their corporations out of the United States of America, the daughter of Babylon, because they understand that Yah of hosts, the King, is destroying the daughter of Babylon. Okay, that's why America's been in a drought now for almost 20 years. Okay, been having water problems for about over 30 years. Okay, and this drought cannot be reversed. You also have the whirlwinds that Yah has created, that He talked about in chapter 23, Jeremiah, and chapter 30, Jeremiah. These whirlwinds are all over the earth, but they're definitely hitting the daughter of Babylon. Okay, we got some information here we're going to go through pretty quick. We want to get all this in. So as usual, you know, whatever recording devices that you have, turn them on, because the last show that we did that aired June 28th of 2008, Chicago Access Network only showed it one time. People told me they wanted to see the show, and when they called in, CAN TV said they had no knowledge of that show on the 28th of June. So try to do your best to take this show, and if you have any, if you don't see all of it, you come in the midst of it, then contact CAN, and maybe they'll show it again before they destroy it or whatever, because the last show we did, it was very revealing. And again, we're going to go in deeper into this situation that America's in and the world is in, but specifically the United States of America, the daughter of Babylon. Now, again, this election of Barack Obama was similar to Y2K in the sense that it has created a euphoria amongst the masses of people, okay, especially so-called black Hebrew Israelites, Latino, as well as so-called African Americans, and many Caucasians, Gentiles, or as a lot of people call them, white folks. And they've garnered this mass hope in the people, okay? And that's why, one of the reasons why they have brought Barack Obama to the forefront, and have, for the first time ever, you have a person of color that is the president of these United States, the daughter of Babylon, okay? But when you really examine Barack Obama and the team that he's gathering around him, he just did a press conference on the 7th of this month, which was Friday, November 7th. And if you looked and saw the people that he had massed around him, okay, his chief of staff that he's named, okay, Rahm Emanuel, who is a descendant of Esau. He has dual citizenship, though they try to say that he doesn't, but he does. He's a citizen of what they call the state of Israel. He also has David Axelrod, all right, another Edomite that managed his campaign. And Rahm Emanuel, his father, they have an article in the Sun-Times here about Rahm Emanuel's father and his upbringing. They mention his father, but they don't tell you that his father was an Irgunist. He was with the Irgun, okay, a terrorist organization in Israel, okay, when it was Palestine, okay, before 1948, leading up to 1948. They were bombing the Irgun, the Haganah, the Stern Gang. They were bombing British installations. They were a terrorist organization. Okay, that's Rahm Emanuel's father. Okay, they didn't tell you that, but we're going to tell you that here today. So this Rahm Emanuel is his chief of staff, and as you can see again, you see who's in Barack Obama's ear. Okay, and Barack Obama is like the 21st century Woodrow Wilson. And if anybody knows about Woodrow Wilson out there, he had a Illuminati control mechanism, a person that was put on him to control him, and that was Emanuel House. Okay, and they controlled Woodrow Wilson. That's when the Federal Reserve was put into play. The Federal Reserve is a private corporation, as many of you know. And just to show you how some of these prophecies in the book of remembrance, the so-called Old Testament, are fulfilled, okay, when you go into Jeremiah, okay, chapter 50, it makes a statement in chapter 50, verse 37. A sword is upon her horses, talking about the daughter of Babylon, Babylon. A sword is upon her horses and chariots. Those are the cars and trucks. That's why your gas, your oil is so high, okay? As well as in the early 1970s, they started making inferior motor vehicles here in America. And you know America can make good motor vehicles if they so desire, like they did in the 50s and the 60s, the 40s, okay, the 30s. Well, in the early 70s, they started making inferior vehicles here. And what they did subtly was to change the mindset of the people here in America and the people in the world away from American-made vehicles, so that people would switch over and start buying the vehicles that were produced out of Japan. Okay, and that's why now you see most of the vehicles that's running on the streets, they come from Japan. They're not, people don't want American-made vehicles because they make them inferior. They don't last, okay? People want the biggest bang for their buck. And they've done that subtly to switch people over to buying where they knew they were going to be years later.